The ceaseless thunder of the night finally faded, replaced by a suffocating, smoky silence as we emerged from the depths. The street we knew, once vibrant with life, is now an unrecognizable canyon of broken bricks and twisted iron girders. A cold, gray dawn creeps over the skyline, revealing a landscape choked by acrid smoke and heavy, settling dust. From above, the sheer scale of devastation becomes clear. Entire neighborhoods have been reduced to smoldering, hollowed-out skeletons. The spire of the local church, once a beacon of hope, now stands jagged and broken against the bruised sky. The city's arteries are clogged with debris. A double-decker bus lies overturned like a slain metal beast on its side. The firestorm's fury has passed, leaving behind a charred landscape that still exhales plumes of bitter smoke into the air. Ghostly figures emerge from the ruin, survivors dusted in white ash, eyes hollow with the sheer shock of survival. A shattered clock lies amidst the rubble, its hands permanently frozen at the exact moment the world ended for us. Amongst mountains of brick and mortar, the smallest remnants of daily life tell the most tragic stories of sudden loss. The screaming sirens have finally ceased, leaving behind a haunting silence that feels heavier than the noise of war. Walls that once sheltered generations are now stripped bare, exposing intimate lives to the cold indifference of the sky. Deep within the ruins, stubborn fires still smolder, hissing quietly as damp morning air meets the dying heat. We move through the haze like weary phantoms, searching for familiar landmarks in a geography that has been erased. Iron tram lines are twisted violently upward, severed like nerves by the sheer, concussive force of the explosions. A thick, gray powder coats every surface, turning the vibrant city we knew into a monochrome, spectral wasteland. Rescue wardens stand motionless at the edge of a crater, staring into the void where a home once stood. Fragments of innocence lie scattered. A child's bicycle rests bent and abandoned beneath the weight of fallen masonry. Thick, black smoke drifts lazily across the river, obscuring the bridges that once connected us to the world. In this broken landscape, we simply breathe in the dust, grateful for the air, however heavy it feels. The rising sun struggles to pierce the veil of smoke, casting long, mournful shadows across the shattered pavement. Scattered amidst the wreckage, personal letters and photographs lie exposed, fluttering gently in the breeze like forgotten memories. We step carefully over the ruins of our past lives, moving forward simply because there is nowhere else to go. The geography of the city has been rewritten overnight, transformed into a jagged map of craters and hollow shells. Yet amidst the absolute destruction, a solitary chimney remains standing, a stubborn testament to what refuses to fall. The air is no longer filled with the whistle of falling bombs, but with a heavy, exhausted stillness. Strangers share silent nods in the street, bound together by the terrifying luck of having seen another morning. High above the devastated skyline, birds begin to fly again, indifferent to the carnage scattered on the ground below. We will clear the bricks and sweep the glass, but the shadow of this night will never truly fade away. London breathes again under the gray sky, wounded and scarred, but standing silent against the tide of history. Fire hoses lie limp like dead snakes across the wet stones. Exhausted after their long battle with the flames, a bedroom wall has vanished, leaving a neatly made bed suspended in the air, a stage for no audience. The heavy scent of wet plaster and burning wood clings to our skin, a perfume of pure destruction. Men dig silently with bare hands, driven by the desperate hope of hearing a faint cry from the earth. An upright piano stands miraculously amidst the debris, its keys waiting for a melody that will never be played. Black columns of smoke rise like grim pillars, marking the places where the heart of the city was torn. A survivor carries water through the wreckage, a small act of life continuing against the backdrop of total death. Dark pools of water reflect the bruised sky, turning the bomb craters into deep, mournful mirrors of our sorrow. The only sound is the crunch of boots on shattered glass, a rhythm of destruction under our weary feet. We scan the horizon with tired eyes, not for the sun, but to ensure the still birds have gone. Familiar street signs are twisted or gone, turning our own neighborhood into a labyrinth of nameless ruins. Behind shattered shop windows, mannequins stand draped in debris, mimicking the frozen, silent postures of the living. A porcelain teacup sits unbroken on a doorstep, a fragile survivor where the house behind it has failed. The dust settles on our eyelashes and lips, leaving the gritty, bitter taste of the city on our tongues. Mounds of brick block the midday sun, creating an artificial twilight in narrow alleys that no longer lead home. Every few minutes, a weakened wall groans and shifts, the dying breath of a building accepting its fate. We pass each other like ghosts in the fog, united by the unspoken knowledge of what we endured in the dark. The skyline is jagged like a broken tooth, silhouetted against a gray sky that offers absolutely no comfort. Papers from a bombed office drift down from the upper floors, settling on the street like dry, dead leaves. Yet, in this gray desolation, a stray dog picks its way through the rubble, life stubbornly persisting amidst the waste. Groups of weary men form human chains, passing bricks one by one to clear a narrow path for the living. A burst water main floods the crater, creating a dark, muddy lake where the corner bakery used to stand. Tattered curtains flutter from a window frame that hangs in the void, waving goodbye to a vanished room. The distinct sound of brooms on pavement echoes everywhere, a chorus of people trying to sweep away the war. Firemen sleep on the damp pavement, too exhausted to remove their helmets, collapse beside their cooling engines. Time feels suspended here. A calendar on an exposed wall marks yesterday, a date that belongs to a different era. We are painted in shades of charcoal and ash, blending seamlessly into the gray wounds of our bruised city. Sunlight catches the floating dust motes, turning the air into a shimmering gold mist over the tragedy below. A red postbox stands dented but upright, a bright spot of defiance in a world turned completely to slate. We look at the ruins not with despair, but with a quiet, grim determination to endure until the very end. A kettle sits on a cold stove exposed to the street, waiting for a tea that will never be poured. Pages torn from library books flutter in the gutter, carrying centuries of wisdom into the wet, black mud. The underground stations exhale a warm, stale breath, having kept thousands safe while the world above them burned. Through the drifting smoke, the great dome stands defiant, a stone mountain that the fire could not conquer. Melted glass forms strange, alien sculptures on the pavement, beauty born from the heat of absolute terror. An empty swing creaks in the playground, moving only with the wind, waiting for children who are still hiding. We walk with heads down, navigating a geography of broken stones, too tired to look up at the sky. The city feels lighter today, as if the buildings have exhaled their souls into the heavy gray clouds. Scars are carved deep into the brickwork, marks that will remain long after the smoke finally clears away. A tram stands frozen on its tracks, a metal carcass stripped of glass, blending into the urban graveyard. Even the ancient trees in the square are stripped bare, standing like charred sentinels guarding a broken park. The rhythmic clinking of shovels against stone becomes our new heartbeat, a slow, steady pulse of recovery. As the wind picks up, the shroud of smoke finally lifts, revealing the jagged, open wounds of the skyline. A single shoe lies abandoned in the middle of the road, a terrifyingly small detail that screams of panic. Tea ladies emerge from the dust like angels, serving hot comfort to men with hands stained black by soot. We see the floral wallpaper of a stranger's life, a private pattern now exposed to the harsh, gray daylight. The Thames flows on, indifferent and dark, carrying the floating ash of the city out towards the waiting sea. Ambulances navigate the cratered streets slowly, their bells silent now, carrying the heavy burden of the night. The sun is higher now, but its light is cold, offering illumination without warmth to the battered streets below. This silence is not peace. It is a pause, a collective holding of breath before we must build again. Handwritten signs appear on boarded windows, declaring business as usual, a quiet defiance against the chaos. We are no longer strangers, but a brotherhood of survivors, bound by the shared memory of fire. Brick by brick, we will rise from this ash, not because we want to, but because we must. The roar of the city begins to return, a low murmur of life reclaiming the silence of death. As evening approaches, the ruins turn into silhouettes, standing like jagged monuments to our collective endurance. The fires may burn and the walls may fall, but the soul of this city remains untouched. We bury our dead, we sweep the streets, and tomorrow we will face the sky once again. History will remember the fire, but we will remember the silence and the strength we found within it. London stands, broken, battered, but still breathing. The night is over. We are still here,